Welcome back to the Essential Health Podcast. I am so honored today to be speaking with Jana Fernández. Jana is a leading expert in the physiology of rest and the author of the brilliant book, Learn to Rest. Jana, thank you so much for being here. I am a huge admirer of your work.
Dr. Anya, thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm a huge fan of this podcast and the conversations you're having.
Well, the feeling is mutual. I want to dive right in because there is a statistic I came across recently that truly put a chill down my spine. It said that 12 million Spaniards admit they do not rest well. As an expert who lives and breathes this topic, what is happening in our society? Why are we in a collective sleep crisis? It's a huge problem, and it comes from two places.
First, we are simply not taught from a young age how vital sleep is. We're taught about nutrition and exercise, but sleep is often treated as a luxury, an inconvenience, or worse, a sign of weakness. And second, the society we've built, the 24/7 culture of hyperproduction, is actively hostile to our biology. It prioritizes constant stimulation over the single most valuable tool we have for our health, our rest.
You've said before that you believe sleep is even more fundamental than nutrition or exercise. That might sound controversial to some. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. And I say this with all due respect to my colleagues in nutrition and fitness. But if there is no good rest, if you don't sleep deeply, everything else fails. Your hormonal regulation collapses, making you crave sugar and making it impossible to lose weight. Your ability to make good food choices vanishes. Your muscles cannot repair from a workout. At every single level, sleep is the foundation upon which all other pillars of health are built. Without it, the entire house is unstable.
That's such a powerful way to put it. Let's talk about the culture you mentioned. I see this constant promotion of the hustle lifestyle, especially online. The idea that if you wake up at 5 a.m., you're more effective. But there's a dark side to that, isn't there?
A huge one. The problem with the 5 a.m. club is that it only tells half the story. To get up at 5 a.m. and be effective, you must be in bed by 9 p.m. But what people do is they keep their normal late-night routine, go to bed at midnight, and force themselves awake at 5 a.m. They are not gaining productivity, they are just chronically sleep-depriving themselves. And as you know from your own experience, a sleep-deprived brain is not a high-performing brain. It's an apathetic brain. It's a foggy brain. It is an irritable and unkind brain.
So it's not just that we're tired. The impact is much deeper. It affects our mood, our relationships, even the quality of our ideas at work.
It impacts every aspect of our life. The scary part isn't the short-term effects we can feel, like being tired or grumpy. The really dangerous consequences are the silent ones that accumulate year after year. For a long time, we didn't understand the mechanism, but now we know about things like the glymphatic system, the brain's cleaning crew, which only works during deep sleep to clear out metabolic waste like beta-amyloid proteins. After a decade of poor sleep and poor brain cleaning, that's when you see it manifest as a higher risk for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or dementia. So many of these chronic diseases could be mitigated simply by prioritizing rest.
Jana, you speak with such passion and clarity, and I know it comes from a very personal place. You weren't always a sleep expert. Can you share the story of what brought you here?
Not at all. I was the opposite. I was a general manager, a superwoman who believed sleep was for the weak. I was mentally and physically available 24/7. I took my work phone on vacation to New York and was answering emails on a different time zone, completely destroying my circadian rhythm.
Did you feel it was the job's fault, or was it your approach to it?
For a long time, I blamed the job, but with perspective, I know the responsibility was mine. I didn't know how to set boundaries. I have a type A personality, a perfectionist, a controller. That, combined with a demanding job, led to a full-blown depression from exhaustion, as diagnosed by my doctor.
What were the symptoms that finally made you realize this was more than just stress?
It was a cascade of things that felt terrifying. I was in my mid-30s. I had severe memory lapses, constant nervous tics in my eyes and lips, a brain fog so thick I felt like I was moving through water, and my physical health collapsed. Suddenly, I had high cholesterol, high uric acid, insulin resistance, the beginnings of diabetes. My doctor ran every test, thinking it was something more sinister, until one day he simply looked at me and asked, "And how do you sleep?" And I said, with a strange kind of pride, "Oh, about 4 hours a night." That was the light bulb moment. He made me stop everything, even exercise, for 15 days and just focus on sleep. It was incredibly hard at first, but it was the start of my new life.
That's an incredible story, and it led you to develop a framework you call the 7 Ds. Can you walk us through them? I think this could be a life-changing roadmap for our listeners.
Of course, it's the path I took to rebuild myself. The first two are the foundation, decisión or decision, and disciplina or discipline. You have to consciously decide that rest is your priority, and you must be disciplined because our modern world is a minefield of temptations, late-night TV, social media, designed to steal your sleep.
I love that. So it starts with a real commitment.
Exactly. The next three are about the body, deporte or sport, dieta or diet, and dormir or sleep. Sport is about remembering we're made to move, and diet is about eating real food, not products. And sleep is the practice of good sleep hygiene itself, which we can dive into.
And the final two, these are the ones that intrigue me most.
These are the ones that address the mindset, which, for a perfectionist like me, was the hardest part. They are desconectar, or disconnect, desacelerar, or slow down, and disfrutar, or enjoy. Disconnect is about single tasking. When you're with your family, be with your family, not half working on your phone. Slow down is about fighting the urge to rush everything. And enjoy, this might be the most important one. We must find joy in ordinary things because a mind that is bitter, stressed, and unhappy cannot find peace. You can't hate your life from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then expect to sleep peacefully.
This is so comprehensive. Let's get really practical for our listeners. Let's build their ultimate sleep toolkit based on your expertise. Let's start with the sleep environment. What are the non-negotiables?
3 things. It needs to be dark, quiet, and cool. Dark means total darkness. Even the standby light on your TV can disrupt melatonin production. Use blackout curtains and eye mask. Quiet means using earplugs if you have to. And cool is crucial. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to initiate deep sleep. That's why it's so hard to sleep on a hot summer night.
Let's talk about supplements. Everyone is so confused. Melatonin, magnesium, valerian. What's your professional take?
This is so important. Melatonin is a hormone, not a simple sleep aid. It can be a useful tool for things like jet lag, but taking it at the wrong time or in the wrong form can disrupt your natural rhythm even more. I always tell people to start with magnesium. Almost all of us are deficient. Magnesium is a master mineral that calms the nervous system. It helps turn off that fight or flight state. It doesn't force you to sleep like a sedative. It creates the calm internal conditions that allow sleep to happen naturally. I take magnesium glycinate every single night.
That's a fantastic clarification. What about snoring? It's a huge issue for so many couples and often a source of shame.
It is, and it shouldn't be. Snoring is often caused by breathing through your mouth. When we sleep, the muscles in our throat relax, and the vibration of the tissue creates the sound. The simplest, most effective, and cheapest solution for many people is mouth taping. It sounds strange, but using a small piece of gentle, porous medical tape to keep your lips closed encourages nasal breathing. This is our physiological design. Breathing through your nose is quieter, more efficient, and better for you. It can be a complete game changer for both the snorer and their partner.
Jana, I want to end with a quick myth-busting round. I'll give you a common belief, and you tell me if it's true or false. Let's do it. Myth number 1. Women are better at multitasking than men.
False. A fascinating myth. Physiologically, no human brain can focus on 2 cognitively demanding tasks at once. We are just switching our attention back and forth very quickly. The evidence suggests women may be slightly faster at this task switching, which gives the illusion of multitasking. But true simultaneous focus is a myth for everyone. Myth number 2. You can catch up on sleep on the weekend. Mostly false. You can repay a small part of your sleep debt, but you cannot recover from the hormonal and cognitive damage of chronic weekday sleep deprivation by sleeping in on Saturday. It creates what we call social jet lag, which is like flying across time zones every weekend. Consistency is far more important than total hours.
Last one, myth number 3. I'm just one of those people who only needs 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Almost certainly false. There is a tiny fraction of the population, less than 1%, with a specific gene mutation, the DEC2 gene, that allows them to thrive on short sleep. For the other 99% of us who claim this, we are not thriving. We are just chronically sleep deprived and have gotten used to a lower level of performance. It is not a badge of honor. It is a health risk.
Jana, this has been a true masterclass. You've given us the science, the personal story, and a powerful, actionable toolkit. To summarize, what is the one message you want to leave our listeners with today?
Make sleep your priority. When your sleep improves, absolutely everything else improves with it. And before you spend money on any gadget or pill, look to the free, powerful information nature gives us. Align yourself with the rhythms of light and dark. That is the foundation of it all.
Incredible. Thank you again for your time and your wisdom. And for everyone listening, I want to ask you, what is the one change you are going to make to your sleep routine after hearing this? Share it in the comments below. Your commitment could inspire someone else. And if you found this conversation as illuminating as I did, please give us a like or a 5-star rating. And be sure to subscribe to the Essential Health Podcast for more.